Welcome back, y'all. It is episode 51 of the TalkBall Tweakers podcast. We're getting, I was about to say some crazy shit, but we're getting up there. We're getting up there.
We're
Uh,
just getting started.
just getting started though, fellas, for sure. Um, we're talking NBA basketball. That's it. That's all we're doing right now is talking NBA basketball. We're down to the nitty-gritty, the playoffs, postseason time, for the big leagues. How are we feeling?
My team, I care more about the lottery. Bro, give me a top five pick or I'm going to riot.
What do you
No,
mean?
but
You got five. You got five picks last year, and all of them turned out to be hot garbage.
bro, didn't we watch the draft together? Didn't you guys see my? Yeah, Jesus Christ, that was a tough day. Um, Jesus. Well, the city of Charlotte was buzzing last night. So the fucking parade after the game was pretty crazy. But
Is
I'm
there gonna be
good.
a parade?
A parade, I mean like Hornets fans all leaving to go to the same place and just really loud in the middle of like uptown. So
Okay.
like not a real parade, but there should be a parade. That's their first like
They
meaningful
all
win in 10 years, bro.
they all went to the bar and celebrated, is what you're saying. As they should.
Exactly.
They started
Yeah.
celebrating like Pat Bev when he won the play.
Yeah. Heck, bro, they should celebrate. You're good for them and they should celebrate on Friday. I'll be at the bar on Friday rooting for the Hornets in my Dale Ellis jersey. I have a Dale Ellis Hornets jersey, one of the
Oh boy,
weirdest things I own.
get a leaky black jersey.
I have a leaky black jersey already. Not
Ah,
Hornets though. Not Hornets. No.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, to sum that up, basically Jake's team is down to the dumps, waiting to see what top five pick they get.
The
Me,
crazy thing is, Blake, and then I'll let you go. That literally doesn't narrow it down because all four of my teams are in that boat right now. All four of them.
me and Jake's team, or me and Toussaint's team, are sitting at top of the Eastern Conference, waiting for that team that we just talked about in Charlotte, the Hornets, to see what they do, as they just advanced to the basically final playing game to see who gets the eighth spot to play us in Detroit. So, yeah, that's how things are going. Like I said, we're gonna talk everything NBA right here, as we gear up for the playoffs. But before we do that, fellas, let's talk
Talk
Paul,
ball.
ball. All
we're
right,
getting better
so
at it.
That was
we we've been,
atrocious.
we've been getting better. We've been getting a little better. We're gonna sum up the two games last night really quickly. I'm not gonna do them separately because we have a lot of series to highlight. But last night, the Charlotte Hornets knock off the Miami Heat in thrilling fashion, overtime. LaMelo Ball taking the bucket, taking the rock to the bucket, I guess, for the game winner. And then the Portland Trailblazers walking into Phoenix and getting a huge win. And they advanced the playoffs to face the San Antonio Spurs. Takeaways from each game, both game. Kind of give your guys' thoughts on those.
Um, all right, I'll start us off. Blazers Suns, first off, I don't know if people could see that. Uh, no, seriously. Denny Denny Avdia is one of the best stories in the league. I genuinely do believe that this year, his ascension into an all-star. I mean, yeah, he was a lottery pick, top 10 pick, whatever you want to call it. He was not good in Washington, got to change the scenery and became not one of the best players in the NBA. That's a reach, but like a top 30 player in the league and an NBA all-star. And
Yeah.
to score 41 on a Suns team, like, look, are the Blazers going to beat the San Antonio Spurs? No, I'm not saying that. But Denny Avdia alone gives Blazers fans hope in the future. I mean, you have Damian Lillard next year. They're gonna have Jonathan Clingan and some other people. So good win for them. The Hornets game was insane. I just watched it on my TV, bro. But like, they were up five, or they were up six. No, it was five. I lied. And then the Heat hit two straight threes because the Hornets missed free throws to put them in that position. And then LaMelo Ball makes the shot. And it was just a wild sequence. And I don't exactly remember what the score was heading down the stretch to overtime. I just know it was really back and forth. But I mean, Blake was the first one on this podcast to be like the Hornets might make noise. And like they get in. I don't expect them to beat the Pistons, but that's a good basketball team that won a game they should have won yesterday. When there are a lot of times where you let the Heat might be winning this, and the Hornets go, "No, you're in our house. We're the better basketball team. We're going to stay alive." And so that stood out to me. And also, like LaMelo Ball, he's one of the more inconsistent stars in our league. But when he's on, and he's one of the best to watch. And I think last night showed that too.
Yeah, next year's Hornets team is gonna be a playoff team, and it's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best Hornets team to ever exist, and that both means a lot and a little. But they are, because you gotta think about it. The Hornets are a pretty sad franchise. Like
They are, but I'm just
from the Bobcats, from moving from New Orleans to being the Bobcats. Wait, were those the same or were they
No,
different?
two
Oh,
separate
okay, they
ones.
were different. Okay,
Yeah, two
so
separate
from
ones.
being the Bobcats, um, and being, the worst team in the league for years.
Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
Yeah, and then having Michael Jordan as your owner, thinking you're gonna turn it around, and then he doesn't do jack squat to help you. Kemba is your best all-time player, which if Kemba is your best all-time franchise player, you're probably not a great franchise. Good player. I don't I'm not trying to shit on him. He's a good player. It's just like he didn't win any awards. He wasn't an all-time great. So, but this next year's team is gonna be the best Hornets team to ever exist. They're gonna take another step. They have cemented scores. I mean, the thing that stood out to me last night was that Concanippo was 2 of 12 from the field and had 6 points. They benched him and they still were good. Throughout the entire year, he was their second best scorer and most reliable, right? And so for him to not have the game that he was having, Charles Lee, the head coach, bench him. They still got 23 out of Brandon. They got 23 out of Brandon, and they got 28 out of Miles Bridges. So they have the order there. They just have to, they're like the Pistons. They remind me of the Pistons last year. They have to take another step. And then with the Blazers and the Suns, I mean, Denny Avdia going, going to Washington, just that game last night spoke to me, and it was like, this is not about the Blazers or the Suns. This is about how bad the Wizards are as a franchise. Because for you to trade away a top 10 pick, a lottery pick, one like a year after you get him, and he was bad on your team, but he's good on another team, tells you all you need to know. I mean, the Wizards are one of the worst teams in the league. Uh,
Can I interject for 1 second?
yeah.
One of our biggest audience members slash friend, if you want to call him that, who also runs sports content for Bleacher Report, said Denny Abdia was not going to do anything ever um, in 303. So I just want to shout out Josh. And he might not remember saying that, but I remember it very well. And so, Josh, you're doing a great job. Swing and a miss. Go Wizards. See you in the lottery. Toussaint, continue.
Yeah, I mean that game, I mean the Suns are the Suns. I mean, they were kind of in no man's land this year. And then the Portland Trailblazers with Chauncey and the whole thing. For them to come this far, especially with the whole Chauncey thing, is actually pretty remarkable. Because usually teams might just fold it, call it fold, season's over. Coach got wrapped up in one of the biggest scandals ever. And for them to come out and be like, we're in the play-in, but we're still gonna give our all. And then, I mean, now they're gonna get housed by, San Antonio, undoubtedly. But for them to come this far, have a star in the making, you're getting Damian Lillard back, and then like you said, you got Klingon. Hopefully, Hanson Yang can turn up for next season. But those are interesting games. And the only other point I have is why are the games on Amazon Prime? For the love of everything basketball,
hey, yo.
Adam Silver, you are a terrorist. You need to get, bro, you bald-headed terrorist. You need to get it together. Why are playing games on Amazon Prime? Someone tell me that. I'm genuinely losing my mind watching the announcers call the wrong play, and I'm like, wait a minute, this because Amazon Prime. I know it's a money grab, but it's like, have some respect for the game.
Dude, I fully agree with you because it was the it was the play where KL Ware blocked. I think it was Brandon Miller's shot, or it might have been Melo's, one of the two. But KL Ware blocked a shot, and it was clear goaltending. And they went to that replay a few times on the broadcast because the refs didn't review it. Nobody challenged the play. They should. I think Charlotte should have challenged, but. Nobody challenged the play. Nobody reviewed it. So Amazon Prime went back to that play a few times, especially because Ware went and got a block right after that play. Um, and the announcer was just like, and I don't know I don't know who the color analyst was last night, but they were just like, what a block by KL Ware. I'm like, you can't see that that's clear goaltending? Like any good announcer, any good play-by-play, any good color analyst is going to go back to that replay and point out that the refs missed a goaltending right there. And they're just over there just, oh my God, what a great block by Ware. No.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if people saw it, but Mike Breen literally talked about this. In the last game of the regular season, he literally was in the middle of calling a game and he was like, no, the NBA is doing something bad here. He's literally like, he literally said, why are there games on like national broadcast? The games, people in certain areas want to hear their play-by-play people call games. Like I'm in Michigan. I want to hear George Blaha call a game. He might retire soon. I listen. I respect all the other, play-by-play analysts, but it's like that's when I want to hear those people when it gets to like the semifinals, maybe the conference finals. Then it's like, oh, I want to hear Mike Breen, and I want to hear Ian Eagle or somebody like that, somebody big time.
Mark
But
Jones.
especially for the play-ins, like people want to hear like people don't. And at least if you're gonna put it on, put it on cable, put it on NBC, put it on like NBC would have been great for the play-in. Hearing
Yeah.
Chuck talk about like
You see ESPN.
that
I
were
think
hilarious.
ESPN would have been great too now with, with Ernie, Chuck, and all them on ESPN. I think ESPN would have been great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, no, it's wild, bro.
Was there anything else you had to add, Toussaint, to last night's games?
Um, it's kind of interesting because I really didn't think the plan was working as much as it should have. Because I feel like they created the plan to trying to get like it was another money grab. Like the plan was a money grab to kind of extend the season to get more games out there. But I have to say I do enjoy it. It's just sometimes you get matchups that are kind of like duds. Like we're gonna see the Magic and the Sixers. I could care less. Like that's like I
Yeah,
could care less about that game.
yeah,
Warriors, Clippers tonight. That's a good matchup between two greats. And that's really all I'm looking for. I mean, I'm gonna watch Steph Curry take 30 shots to try and get you know, the Warriors a win, but I don't know. I feel like there's something finicky with the play-ins. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like they
It's
just
not just you.
yeah,
it's not just you. I raised the question before we started recording was like, why don't they just do 8 versus 9 for the 8 seed? Because now it's like you have my issue. You can see I'm with you, Tucson. Like I don't. It's not that I hate the play in. Like I do enjoy watching it sometimes, and I feel like over the past couple of years, what this started what after the 2020 season. After and since then it started like there has been good games in the play in. So I'm not really opposed to it there being a play-in, but I mean, yeah, it's just like you mentioned, like sometimes you get those 9-10 matchup and it's just like you don't really want to watch that, you know? That's kind of like what did I say like what did I say like last year on the pod? Like that's a stinker night.
Yeah.
yeah. This is a
Like
stinker. We got a stinker tonight.
sometimes 9 versus 10 is a stinker night. So
Hey,
I
he
really
said, hey, what that smell?
what's that?
The only reason that tonight I'm a little more, I wouldn't even call it excited because the odds I turn it on, especially the first game, are very low. Is like there are, I'm not saying last night didn't have storylines because there are, but like there's just bigger ones in this because like say the Sixers win, you get Sixers Celtics. That was a great series in 23. I'm not saying this one's gonna go 7 games, but if Joel Embiid decides like I'm gonna play basketball, even without him, Tyrese Maxey's still fun. And then like the Steph Curry versus Kawhi Leonard, you said it before we started recording. Like that's a cool storyline in itself. That's why I'm a bit more excited, but like I'll be lucky if I tune into Prime Video. I mean,
Yeah.
like the biggest reason I will is just because like I'm not going to speculate about anything. He's definitely not retiring this year, but I just want to watch as much of Steph Curry as I can before he's gone. Like, again, I don't know how close he is to retiring, nor do I want to have that conversation ever, but he is 37. The Warriors don't really look like they're going anywhere. So why not turn it on and see if he goes nuclear?
Yeah, I feel that. And I mean, I'm kind of with you on there because it's like last night's game, Charlotte Miami was a 9-10 game and that was the better game of the two last night. I mean, both games were pretty good, but Um, that Charlotte Miami game was insane. Like one of the best games of the year so far. So, I mean, like I'm not opposed to there being a 9 versus 10. I just think it would be better the play-in being an 8 versus 9 and then that winner, that's the play-in right there and that winner gets the 8 seed. Because like I said, you
Yeah.
risk a 7 seed having to play for now the 8 seed. And it's
Yeah.
like
We also don't need whoever's in the 10 seed, you gotta think about it. If a 10 seed wins out, let's say he wins two playoff playing games, right? The 10 seed. Your reward for playing two extra games is facing the number one seed.
yeah,
So whoever you're facing is already by far 1,000 trillion times better than you. You just played two games and now that's your reward?
yeah,
Let's be honest. If I'm the Warriors, do I really want to play two games to go get smacked upside the head by OKC and get swept? Like
exactly.
genuinely, if I'm Steph Curry, do I want Lou Dort's knee in my back
That
after winning two games? Do I want to see
was
Shea trying to oral farm on me? No, I want to go
that,
home.
that was since see that was the point that I was getting to. Toussaint was like with like for example with Charlotte last night. You watch that game, you see how good of a win that was for Charlotte, and you see how well they played down the stretch in the clutch. And then it's like, oh my God, now they're getting rewarded and they have to go play another game to even get in the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? It's like now it's like it kind of pains me a little bit because now Charlotte had after that great win last night, Charlotte now has to play another game just to get into the playoffs. And
Yeah.
everybody already decided after, especially after last night. I think especially after the course of the last 20 games of the NBA regular season, but especially after last night, everybody decided they wanted to see Charlotte in the playoffs.
I
Like
mean,
I think
Charlotte is
like
one of the best teams post All-Star break, so they deserve to be in my
so
opinion.
that's also my thing is like now it's like I would rather there just being one game and that winner goes to the playoffs. There shouldn't be no, oh, you got to play one more game just to see if you can get in the playoffs. Like that's just insane. Because that game's on Friday. Playoffs start on Saturday. So it's like there's a quick turnaround there.
You're losing game one. It's a guaranteed loss in game one. Like you're
So
guaranteed to lose that game.
so yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. So that's my thing on it. Is there anything else we want to talk plans
No,
before
we've given it enough time.
all right, bet. So 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 yeah, the playing games tonight will be already happened by the time this episode gets up. So when we preview series, just I guess we can just go with who we think is going to win those games. Um, we're going to start though in the West. We'll start since we just talked about play-ins. We'll start with Blazers Spurs. I'm assuming it's going to be a quick little highlight for this one, but Blazers Spurs, Denny Avia, Victor Wembanyama. Thoughts on that series? Who wins?
I love Denny. Um, Credit Adonai. Spurs in four. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, look, I think that. Sorry, I'll make it quick. Blazers had a good season. Good expectations. High. I mean, to on to next year for them. The Spurs are the Spurs. That's all I was gonna say.
I got you.
yeah. This is not even a question. Wemby's already looking ahead to the Nuggets in this matchup.
Okay. So I actually have a little different outlook on this series. I'm not gonna go too long because obviously I'm gonna say it right here. The Spurs are
If you say
I'm about to
50-50,
say, if you say
uh,
50-50, I'm about to turn this shit off. I'm
yeah,
about
dude.
to go home. I'm about to get off this. I'm, hey, it's out the mud.
no, bro,
Don't you
I'm
say no
not.
60-40 either. This is a
I'm not.
90-10.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not saying 60-40. I wanted to give Denny Advia some credit last night because he looked like top 15 player in the NBA. And that's no exaggeration. 41 points on 68% from the field. He had 14 of those points came in the fourth quarter. He had three clutch field goals made. He was hooping. He was balling. And I think he put a lot of people on notice. that next year, if they get, a good signing, they get a good draft pick, and he's balling like that, the Blazers could be in contention for, a 5 seed, 4 seed, in that range there. So he put a lot of people on notice. I think if he carries that into this series, I believe the Blazers could get one. I'm not giving them two. I'm not giving them obviously not gonna give them three. The Blazers can get one though, with the way that he played last night. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say Spurs in four. I'm actually gonna go 4-1. I'm gonna give Portland one, because of the way that he's been playing. But he put a lot of people on notice, and it's crazy because it's like. And I think Jake, you brought it up. Like in Washington, he was terrible a few years ago. People would have never thought Danny Avdija would be hooping like this. There were flashes last night where I was like, this motherfucker might look a little bit like Luca. He looked a little bit like Luca a little bit. I was like, whoa, hold on now. So
When the
he
Europeans use change of tempo like crazy.
he can hoop. He can hoop. So that's all
He's
I was
not
gonna add
European,
to that.
but you get my drift.
Yeah, no, he's not European.
Overseas. I said European. I meant overseas.
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 But yeah, that's all that I was gonna say. Was that I think they can get one. So, but yeah, Spurs are winning that one, obviously. We'll move on now to the 1 seed, and that is the OKC Thunder, the defending champions. Who do we think is gonna get that 8 seed, and obviously who wins that
Don't
series?
matter. Don't matter.
Matter?
Don't matter. It,
You're
it
not.
genuinely does not matter. OKC will put their hands so far down. No, I
They
paused.
gonna do what?
No, no.
Yeah,
You gonna do what?
No, I didn't mean it like that. I did not mean it like that. I just meant like it could be, it could be, it, it genuinely does not matter who they play in the first round. They cannot lose. That and the teams they're gonna sweep whoever they play. So that would be um Clippers, Warriors, or whoever wins that would have to play the Suns next. And so it doesn't matter if it's the Suns, the Clippers, or the Warriors don't stand a single chance. The Clippers don't have terrible defense, but they're kind of a little old in places and therefore less athletic. Um, and they don't have the offensive firepower. Even though they have Kawhi, they don't have the offensive firepower. And the Suns, I mean, they also don't have the like whoever you match them up against is just a bad matchup. They don't have the offensive firepower to deal with OKC's defense, and OKC has too much offense to deal with anybody else's defense that's coming out. So it really doesn't matter. But if you want my honest opinion, who's coming out to face them, I'm taking the Clippers. I'm taking the Clippers. I think Kawhi can win 2 games. I think number one, he's gonna win tonight. I think the Warriors just want to go home. Their season has been kind of a disaster with Curry being hurt, and they've just been worse than they originally thought. And then you look at the Suns. The Suns can definitely win that game against the Clippers, but I think with the Suns, they're gonna have Jalen Green can get 30, but the rest of them, it's like you don't know what you're getting from the rest of anybody else. Dylan Brooks can get you some points. He's had a better offensive year, but it's like you don't know what you're getting from the Suns from time to time. And the Clippers, they still have their key pieces. Obviously, Harden's gone midway through the year, but you have Darius Garland, and he can fill in offensively. I mean, they both Darius Garland and James Harden play the same amount of defense, so they're almost identical in that sense. But I'm gonna take the Clippers. I'm gonna believe in old man Kawhi. This is probably Kawhi's best year post championship, post 2019 championship. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
his best year since then. So I'm gonna
absolutely.
give. Let me tell you something. Whatever Kawhi's line is at, go over. I'm picking the over on his line tonight.
I like that.
I'm also gonna go with the Clippers and this or actually screw it. I'll go with the Suns to be different. Like you brought up the point that the Suns don't have offensive firepower. I agree when you compare them to a bunch of the contenders, but they actually have been decent scoring wise. This isn't gonna say they're gonna do well against the Thunder, but just because that game would be in Phoenix, like I'm not disagreeing with anything you say. Let's just go with the Suns because why not go with the Phoenix Suns? Let's have some fun there. with that being said, Thunder and four. Um,
Thunder in
yeah,
three.
yeah, like yeah. I mean, if the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to lose in the NBA playoffs, it's not going to be in the first round. So
I also
sorry.
I also like the matchup of there's a little thing where there with the Clippers and Thunder Shea revenge game. He's gonna go for 30 every game just to show them what they messed up on. And Kawhi's gonna try and go out with the bang. He's gonna try and drop like 30 a game.
Yeah, I
He's gonna
like
give you some flat line mid range crazy shit.
I like that.
Mm.
I like that. I think I might lean towards Phoenix because I don't know if you guys remember, but a few months ago we had talked about kind of like what teams could make a run, what teams could be, in contention, dark horses. And I said the Phoenix Suns because of how well they were playing the top teams in the NBA. They have really good quality wins this year. They matched up well against some of the top teams. So I'm actually going to go with Phoenix. But Tui, I'm not mad at your Clippers pick. I think it's either going to be, one or the other. Golden State's just done for and over with. So
And remember, the Clippers started the season 6-21, and then miraculously switched it around to being
yeah,
they were decent afterwards. They
yeah,
weren't great, but they were decent. I mean,
I, I
if they get
it,
off to a okay start, they're not in this predicament. Like they're a
yeah,
better seed.
Mhm.
especially with the addition of Darius Garland. I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to get into that 8 seed. I would not be shocked at all. So, but
I
I'm
do
gonna.
love. I didn't even think about it. The Shea versus Clippers in the postseason. That would just be cool because of that storyline.
That'd be a great storyline.
He's going for 40 every game. It doesn't he's gonna look directly at the Clippers every time.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna be honest. I like do not follow. I follow Shea enough. Like I just have never heard him talk about the Clippers for some reason. I wonder what his true thoughts are about them. Like I'm sure he's way past it, but like he could just cut them and then just rub the salt in.
No, if you ask him, he's probably gonna give you some Jalen Hurts oral farming answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Some
That's a
Instagram
great point.
some
Yeah.
Instagram quote with a crazy blazer on, like crazy leopard print jacket and some glasses on him.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
He's like a mix. You know what? He's like a mix of slight mix of Kobe and Rodman. Like flamboyant, but
Hmm.
he gonna get them buckets.
No, that's facts. I feel that. I feel that. Um, yeah, so I mean but yeah, like it doesn't matter who wins. Thunder's winning that series. Absolutely 100%. So Thunder advance. Let's go to the 3-6. Nuggets and Timberwolves. I believe this is probably the best matchup.
Ooh.
It's a great. They always find themselves every
Yeah,
single playoff. They find
they always find
themselves.
themselves. Now that you're right, Blake, at least on this side of the bracket on the West, I think this is the best first round matchup, and I don't think it's particularly close because you have two top five players in the league in Jokic and Ant, and even if you don't want to consider Ant top five, he's top seven, top 10.
Yep.
And I mean, look what they did a few or 2 years ago in 2024. That series was absolutely incredible, and the Timberwolves had one of the best game seven comebacks ever. And I think that we could all agree here. If a team's going to take down the Oklahoma City Thunder besides the San Antonio Spurs, it's one of those teams. And so that's just a really fun one. Um, I'll go chalk and go with the Nuggets just because, like, I think Jokic is on one and he's always on one. And I think after last year when the Nuggets lost in seven to the Thunder, I think that they want their get back, their lift back rather. And I just think the Nuggets are deeper. And so give me Denver there. But yeah, again, like I wouldn't be surprised if Ant scored 40 a game. Like does not there's a man in the woods, Denver, and they know that very well.
Yeah, man, like I said, every year they match up, somehow find themselves in the playoffs, and it's always this is peak. This playoff rivalry is like peak. Every time I watch it, I would get brought back to 2024 when I was screaming at my TV, yelling at Michael Malone, who's now at UNC, which is crazy. If you would have told me in 2020, back then in 2024, that Michael Malone was coaching UNC now, I'd have said you're high. You gotta stop. But that was a time. So I'm gonna have to pick Thunder. I mean, well, Thunder Nuggets, um, because I think how do I explain this? When I watched when I watched the Timberwolves the last 2 years, they lost it in the Western Conference Finals. It's because of the lack of scoring from Ant in most of those games. He has a when he's in the playoffs, he does two things. He either shoots 10 threes a game or he's going right at the hoop. There's no in between. Like I know he can shoot the fadeaway. I know he has the Jordan fadeaway, but in the playoff games, he's one or another. Like he's going straight for the hoop or he's hitting threes. And so I think the Nuggets the last couple of years after losing to them have probably figured that out. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But I'm banking on the fact that they've done their research, they know him, they know how to stop him, and they're going to limit Ant. Now, limit him could mean 35 points. He could average 35, 40, but I think they're going to limit him in the big key moments from getting that bucket. Um, and also, Jokic just finished with one of the highest PERs in league history. He led the league in assists and rebounds simultaneously. He's gonna be third in the MVP, and I think he's gonna want to say something about it. I know he likes his horses. He's not really outspoken, but I feel like he might feel a little disrespected this year. Like, guys, I have one of the highest PRs. I was one of the greatest players ever, and I'm third in the MVP race. Okay, it's like Jordan in '93. You can have the MVP. I'm gonna go get the trophy. So I think Jokic is gonna want that. You also have Aaron Gordon, who's back healthy. Um, Obviously Jamal Murray is an All-Star for the first time. This is probably his best year, through and through. So give me the Nuggets.
Um, yeah, I like what you guys all said. I think the Nuggets obviously, you know, wouldn't be shocked if they win the series, but I'm going with Minnesota. I think that Minnesota is I think they're deeper than Denver is. I think with the addition of Ayo Dosunmu, um, I think Minnesota can make a huge run. But they have to stay healthy, though. That's the thing. And it's up to Anthony Edwards to stay healthy. It's up to him to be consistent throughout this whole playoff run and throughout this whole series, first of all. And I really like the way that Terrence Shannon Jr. has been playing the last couple of games. I know that obviously the stars have been out, but that's my thing. That's the good thing though, is they let some of these guys get some run so that they can get hot entering the playoffs. Now their bench is feeling good. He had 33,
Mhm.
26, 23 his last three games of
What
the
did they Bones?
Bones. Exactly. They got Bones
Busy.
Highland. They got DiVincenzo. They got, Julius Randle what Ant say? Yeah, they got Katie, but we got Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah,
So, yeah, no, I think Minnesota.
dude, still insane.
I think Minnesota's gonna win the series. I do, and I think that it's probably gonna go to 6 or 7.
Now you can say now you can say it with this one.
No, this one's 50-50. Absolutely.
Yeah, now
This
you
one's
can say it.
absolutely 50-50. That's
You
solidified.
you can
Yeah,
say
you
it with
could
this
say it.
one. Yeah,
That's
this is a coin
solidified.
flip. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going Minnesota, and I think Anthony Edwards. We've seen what he is in the playoffs, and he is a bad boy. He is a bad boy in the playoffs, and so I think that yeah, I think he's gonna go for it. So
Yeah, this
I
is the
got
best series. This is the best first round series for sure.
yeah, absolutely. Now we switch or we move over to 4 or 5. Lakers versus Rockets. Toussaint called this trash versus garbage.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
unction, the unction, some may say.
yeah, you got
Uh,
unks carrying the teams. You got two unks carrying the teams.
Yeah,
LeBron
dude.
James at 41 years old is looking to probably, and we think and hear me out on this one. Obviously, we know everybody knows what LeBron James has done in the postseason and what he's done in the playoffs. His greatest probably achievement, word to Jeff Van Gundy, is carrying that Cleveland team to the finals and beating Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, can 41-year-old LeBron James possibly overcome the greatness that he's had in the playoffs and lead the Lakers past the Houston Rockets to a round 2 matchup against the OKC Thunder?
Either way, like you're gonna have an intriguing storyline in the second round because it's either gonna be the Thunder versus the Lakers, and I don't know if Luka's gonna be back, but still sort of cool. Or KD playing the Thunder for the first time since he left them in the playoffs. With that being said, I would have loved if Luka Doncic would have come back. And if Luka Doncic was playing, I would pick LA without hesitation. I'm never going to doubt LeBron James's greatness. Give me Houston.
Yeah.
Uh, I just don't know my rationale, honestly. This is more of a why the Lakers will lose than why the Rockets will win for me. And it's because the Lakers don't have Luka and Austin Reeves, and I think that's going to make a huge difference, obviously. And like LeBron's great. He could have 25 a game, and I still don't know if that's enough. And Houston, outside of KD, they're a young team and they're a hungry team. And I think that's going to make the difference. I think they're going to just be better.
Yeah. As long as I've been alive, I've never doubted LeBron ever. Even in series where he was overmatched, I still say he could do it. The only time ever was against the Warriors dynasty when I knew the Warriors dynasty was just flat out better than him. And LeBron can beat whole teams by himself, like you said in 2018. But he's literally gonna have to turn back the clock to 2018 to do it. He's gonna have to turn back the clock 8 years to get past the Rockets. And what's crazy is the Rockets aren't even that good of a team. Like they're good, but when you build them up compare in comparison to the T Wolves, the Thunder, the Spurs, everyone else, they're not that good. And if you gave me 31, 32-year-old LeBron, I would say LeBron in a heartbeat. But 41-year-old LeBron is so tough to choose just because you don't know what he's giving you. You might he might wake up one morning and have sciatica. The next morning he might wake up and give you 41. You don't know. You genuinely don't know. Like he might be having pains and then the next night he might drop 30. So he's not as reliable as prime LeBron. Um, I think the Lakers can win 2 games. But we saw this last year when they played, was it last? Yeah, last year when they played the Timberwolves in round one. He tried to do all he could even at 40 and it still didn't matter. I mean, like and that's the thing about the Rockets is the Rockets don't have a point guard. They're not good down the stretch, but if Kevin Durant just gives them 30, 27, they're gonna win. I mean, they're capable enough, they have a good coach, and is if the Lakers had even Austin Reeves, I might still give him a chance. Even if they had Austin Reeves, I would say, okay, LeBron can do it. There's a good chance. But by himself, Laravia is the second best player right now.
Cool. I didn't
Like,
even think about that.
like
Debate. See, that's debatable. That's debatable.
I mean, him or who else? Your big man that needs crunk juice written on his bottle. I need crunk juice. I need crunk juice. Yo,
That's
is that's my
debatable.
center? Get off my team. With all due respect, get off my team. All right. So,
Yeah.
but after LeBron, who's the second best player in the Lakers right now?
I mean, I would say, I mean, Laravia's in there. I would toss it up between Laravia, Aiton, maybe Marcus Smart's in there. Marcus Smart's just a little.
Because you got to think about it. Your whole offense is gone.
I mean,
Luca, with his hamstring falling off the bone like a tender piece of meat, is still better than most of those guys offensively.
Yeah, I'd literally rather have Luca high on Vicodin than any of those guys. Like
Remember,
completely serious.
Luca got the Dallas Mavericks to the finals on one leg. Luca on
Yeah,
one
dude.
leg is better than all of them,
no,
literally.
absolutely. I mean,
So
I didn't say they were good two options. I'm just saying
no, they're options. That's
it's
what
a
they
toss
are.
up.
They
It's a
said,
toss
Bron,
up.
what do you?
But
They said,
see,
Bron, this.
that's why it's a toss up though, because they're just they're mid. Let's call a spade a spade. They're
Bro,
mid.
your second option is Laravia, who's not.
Let's let's call a spade a spade. They are mid. Those options are mid. So I think the difference.
I'll do one better. They're trash. Like guys, look, like I'm not. They're fine
I'm not
NBA
saying they're trash.
players.
I'm not gonna say they're trash. I'd say they're
I
Laravia's a
am
good
for the
four. He's a good
no.
four.
I totally am gonna say they're trash based on the expectations that the Lakers have. Like I
yeah,
understand you have
based
those
off of
three guys.
expectations, yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. And
Based off
look,
of
I know
expectations.
Luca. Like those guys
They're
should
not
the second
shit.
and third options in in this series should be fourth and fifth if they're healthy. But like they're not healthy and they're second and third, so they're trash options. They're mid
also,
fourth and fifths.
Rui,
They're
I,
trash second and
I think
thirds.
Rui's in the mix for an
bro,
option as
Rui
well.
is
Rui
he's
is
like
fine.
Kevin
Rui's fine.
Love. He's like Kevin Love. Good, but like he's not gonna get his own shot. Listen, even if they win this series, it really doesn't matter. It's just these two teams are lining to get spanked by OKC. That's really what it is. Because the
Yeah.
Lakers can't play OKC.
Well, I beg to differ though because I'm not gonna say spanked, but I am. I
Spanked.
mean, I'm just gonna say if Luca is gonna be back in round two, and if the
Yeah,
Lakers
no,
win the
I
series
agree with you there.
And Luca comes back, you cannot count Luca Doncic out when it's playoff time. Absolutely not. And especially if they get both Luca and Austin Reeves back, you cannot count any team that Luca is playing on in the playoffs out.
I
Absolutely not.
I
I'm not gonna say they get
I
spanked.
This is the same conversation we've had for a year and a half. We've had this conversation, and I'm not going to put back on it because I agree. But like,
no,
I'm not going to pick them.
I mean I understand that with Luca you can win any series, but uh OKC played Luca and Austin Reeves. They were both on the floor a couple
Yeah,
times they played this season,
I
and
know
every
that.
single time the parlay went under because Luca couldn't shoot. Why?
Yep.
Because Lou Dort had his elbow in his chest. Or you got Kassan Wallace coming over top. Well, I'm telling you, it's like it doesn't matter. Whoever wins this series is getting spanked next round. And with all due respect, spank could mean they win 2 games. Luca can win 2 games against the Thunder by himself, but not much more. He can't win 4 games against the Thunder.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. I wouldn't pick the Lakers to win that series if that were
I
to be.
wouldn't pick the Lakers to win 3 games.
I'm just it's
Mm.
and I think that's insane if you have Luka Doncic playing basketball
Bro,
and
I'm watching OKC though. I'm watching OK. They're getting away with fouls. They're circumventing the process.
I'm just saying you cannot count a team out with Luka Doncic playing in its NBA playoff
But
basketball. You
here's the
can't.
difference. The
That's
people
all.
with the pinstripes, okay, they control a lot of what OKC does. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. For all the OKC fans and people that talk about, oh no, they don't. No, they manipulate the refs. All right. And in the end of the day, Luka can drop 44, but his Shea dropped 44, and then Chet dropped 20, and then J Dub dropped 20. Bron and Austin Reeves have to have a good game, both offensively and defensively, just to compete. Because then you think about it, the Thunder's about 5 to 9 range is tremendously different than the Lakers 5 to 9 range. If you're putting, with all due respect, you putting Bronny up there with the rest of the OKC bench, you're gonna get took.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I
And I don't
mean,
mean to single out Bronny because
no, I
I
mean
don't have
you've
nothing
seen
against
that. I
Bronny.
mean you've seen that in their last game when he took the ball up three different times against Case and Wallace, and it just lost it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I
Broken.
say I think that the difference is I don't even know who AJ Mitchell was before the season.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I mean to give my take on this, I think obviously it's the same as you guys said. LeBron's 41 years old. I mean, we know how great he is. We know how great he's been at 41 years old. We've never seen anybody do this at 41 years old. That to say, I don't think it can happen for 5, 6, 7 straight games. And yeah, I mean, I think Houston's going to win this series. Absolutely. I mean, like it's like Toussaint said, all KD has to do is drop like 25, 30, and Houston's gonna gonna beat LA in probably five. So, I mean, that's just what it is. I think if now obviously LA still can win this series. I think the difference there is like how we talked about whoever the hell is going to be their second, third option in this series. It all depends on how they play. We know that LeBron is going to get his. We know LeBron's going to get his 20, 25 and his 8 assists and his 10 rebounds. We know that's going to happen, especially now that he knows he is the guy. He is shouldering this team. So it all depends on how Rui Hachimura plays. It all depends on how DeAndre Ayton plays. It all depends on how Jake LaRavia plays and Marcus Smart. I'm not saying that those guys can go in and have consistent 10, 12, 15 point games and be a good second option. That's not what I am saying. But if those four guys were able to consistently play decent, good basketball in this series, then the Lakers have a chance to beat Houston.
Shit, if I have $1 billion, I'm moving to it. You won't never see me again. But that ain't happening.
Hey,
Guess what?
hey, that's all I'm saying. So, let's move over to the Eastern Conference now. We obviously, I mean, we don't have who's in the seventh seed yet. That game's tonight, so we can't really go to that one first. So we'll start from the top, 1 versus 8. Um, our Detroit Pistons, Toussaint, who plays the Pistons and who wins that series.
It'll be the Hornets for sure. The Hornets will make it out. I'm pretty sure everyone's confident of that. They want the smoke. We want the smoke. It's gonna be a good matchup. This will be a top, one of the
This,
best first round
hey, this
matchups.
gonna be
Just
cinema. This gonna be box office
pure,
cinema, bro.
pure
Yeah.
negativity. It's gonna be
Pure hate.
pure negative.
Patriots.
We're hey.
What do you say? What do you say?
Remember when they
I
had
hate
the
you. I hate you. I hate you. You
I
hate me.
hate
Let's
you,
bang
let's
out this
die.
time.
Let's go out
Uh,
front, bang out. I hate you, let's die. Hey, that beef stew, you see his reaction when they had the fight the second time. He was sitting there like, yeah, okay, okay.
Hate you.
If I'm
Hate
on
you.
the floor next time, you better, okay, yeah, all right. Listen, two teams you want the smoke from in these playoffs, Charlotte and New York. Charlotte, you can come get it. You'll be great next year. This year, we're gonna have to give you the spanking that New York gave us last year. So we're gonna give you the spanking first, all right? And you're gonna have to take it, you're gonna have to learn from it, get better next year, but you're gonna hold this L. All right. We love you, Charlotte. You're building. I actually like Charlotte. I'm not down on Charlotte despite the rhetoric from this podcast. Um
uh,
Man, boy.
but listen, I think they're in a good place. Charlotte's doing great things, but nah. We got title aspirations, so nah.
I feel that.
yeah. I also think it's going to be the Hornets. And even if it's not, it doesn't matter. I think if it's the Hornets, it's going to be a 6 game series and stuff. But I think Detroit's just better. So give me Detroit. Like they're different. So Detroit there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Charlotte's had a great year. I've said it all year. They could, make some noise, make a run, whatever the case may be. Unfortunately, they have to run into the Detroit Pistons, so they are going to get packed up, buddy. So yeah, I'm going Detroit there, just a better team. Like, we've seen all year, one of Detroit's best seasons since like '03. So yeah, Pistons win that one easily. We move down to 7 versus 2. Who wins that game tonight between the 76ers and the Magic to play Boston?
Trash versus garbage, man. Go
Yeah. I
ahead.
mean, I hope it's Philly. And even if it's Philly, Celtics in 5, whichever way it goes, Celtics in 5. They're healthy, they're good. Joe Mazzulla's a psycho. He won the Sporting News Coach of the Year, by the way. Like we gave it an award. I had no part in it, and
Boo! What's up with
no,
JD Bickerstaff?
no,
Boo!
oh no, I that's who I would have voted for. But they asked Mazzulla about it, and you know what he said? It's a stupid award.
So of course they gave it to
Yeah. Um. Yeah, he's a psycho.
him.
Celtics, Celtics.
It's gonna be 76ers. Magic are falling apart as we speak. The coach doesn't like the players. The players don't like the coach. The coach is gonna get fired. They genuinely want the season to be over. I don't think they can stand Jamal Mosley. Like
No,
he's
did you see the report? The report came out that they said
Yeah.
whatever he does in the playoffs, they're firing him.
yeah. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's not Phil Jackson. He's not winning the titles, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really matter.
yeah.
But yeah,
He's not
no.
Phil Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, this is not Chicago in the 90s. But yeah, no, he's gone. I mean, the whole thing about earlier this year when he was talking about they need to play harder, and Paolo was like, "Nah, you're a tweaker of the week." So, yeah, no, it's gonna be 76ers. Even without Joel, I think they can get past them. For whatever reason, the Magic just have not taken steps. They have the players too. Like the Magic have the players, they just haven't taken the steps. Um, yeah, Sixers, Celtics, like Jake said, psychopath for a coach and still defense. Their role players play better than they do. So give me the Celtics. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, whoever wins this, I think Philly wins that game tonight. And yeah, I think it's obviously Philly Boston. Um, Man, I watched Boston the other night against Orlando. Tatum wasn't playing, Brown wasn't playing. Basically, their whole starting lineup wasn't
Ron
playing.
Harper Jr., 27 points.
Junior and Baylor Shireman. I said,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. I said they let these brothers get hot like that heading into the playoffs with
Sam
the
Hauser.
the way that Tatum is playing, the way that Jaylen Brown is playing, the way that Peyton Pritchard is playing, and they let those two goons on the bench get hot. Boy,
I was gonna say
I
Boston is
said,
nasty.
oh, I said, as a Detroit Pistons fan, I was sweating, brother. I said, God damn,
No, the Celtics make me.
damn.
No, the Celtics make me shit my pants this year.
No,
They're
they're
making me like sweat for
yeah,
sure. Definitely the biggest. I mean, they're favored to win the East, and they're the biggest. They're the most dangerous team to the Pistons.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
We talked about
there's a
that.
good reason why the Knicks have to go through them before they get to us. So we'll take the.
Yeah, I think Boston wins that in four. Whoever it is, I think Boston wins that in four. So they're nasty. Moving over, Knicks Hawks 3 versus 6.
It's a good matchup. This is actually a
Uh,
crazy good matchup.
yeah,
It reminds me a lot of Knicks Pistons. I'll let you guys go first, but it reminds me a lot of Knicks Pistons last year when the Knicks were the 3 seed last year too, and the Pistons were like a frisky 6 that could scare you and stuff. Like, and that's exactly what the Hawks are too. With that being said, I'll let you guys go first.
I was just gonna say uh this is probably this is probably the third best series in the first round. Obviously a little back and forth here. No Trey Young anymore, but still they might still chant F Trey Young in the garden. Um, but yeah, no, I think Jalen Johnson. Boy, I don't even know where I know where he came from, but he came out of nowhere in terms of like a breakout year. Like if you told me who's gonna have a breakout year, Jalen Johnson was not on my bucket list at all. For him to be Mr. Triple Double, like he's like a skinnier, sleeker LeBron in Atlanta right now. Like triple double, can do anything you ask him to. Really, really good player. Nikhil Alexander Walker's having a great season. Like they just have guys. I mean, Jonathan Kuminga's got something to prove coming over from Golden State. Like the Knicks cannot take this team lightly, and I genuinely mean that. Like the Hawks, I think the Hawks can beat them. It's not 50-50, but the Hawks can beat them, especially if they like remember last year, okay, the Knicks always win at least the first two series. Remember last year what happened with the Pacers? They took the Pacers just a slightly light. And what happened? Halliburton came in game one and gave him the choke sign. I mean, it could happen. So I'm picking the Knicks because I think the Knicks have something to prove in terms of getting to the finals. But I do think that the Hawks. I think this is a 6 or 7 game series. This is a 6 or 7 game series. The Hawks can win 2 games, especially at home. They might win three. Um, as long as the refs don't take away, game-ending shots like they did last year. It'll be a good series. But Jalen Johnson put the over on PRA. And yeah, I'm rooting for the Hawks. I'm rooting for the Hawks.
My thoughts on the Knicks are the same as they were last week. If they're not going to do it this year, when are they going to do it? And if they lose in the first round, then I mean that might be what gets them Giannis, honestly. With that being said, yeah, I'm going to use that same logic. If the Knicks aren't going to do it this year, they're not going to do it ever. And they're going to beat the Hawks. This is a Hawks team that's good, lacks a lot of playoff experience, and new Hawks team. The Knicks have been here. It's a scary series, for sure. But I do think the Knicks handle business. I agree with you. I think it goes 6 or 7 games, though.
yeah. I mean, I think that. I mean, we talked about the Knicks a little bit last episode, and we talked about like the pressure, and I think I said that I think they have a lot of pressure in this postseason run to go on a run and make the NBA Finals. Um, and I think that they're going to face a lot of tough games
The
to get.
second something goes wrong, dude. The second something goes wrong, everything's going to be stacked against the Knicks.
Yeah.
Everybody who faces them can smell and sense the pressure, so they know because the Hawks have nothing to lose. They have literally nothing to
No.
lose.
Nothing to lose, and that's dangerous.
And even the teams that do have stuff to lose, like this isn't me being biased because I'm from New York. Reminder pod, I'm not a Knicks fan. This is if the Knicks do something wrong, they're going to be the first team on First Take. If the Knicks do something wrong, they're going to be the first team on ESPN because the Knicks are the biggest story because they made it last year. And I'm not trying to take away from any other team. The New York Knicks are the closest thing to a championship contender than they've been arguably ever, or at least since 1970. And so if teams smell blood in the water, if the media smells blood in the water, they are going to bite. And
Yeah.
so the Knicks have no room for error. I really think they have no room. And if they do lose game one or two and you got to deal with that, and if they respond, great. If they don't respond and you get to what's it called? If this team folds, then I don't know where they go besides Giannis. I don't. Because then how many times are you going to run out the same team? You can't beat the Hawks. You're not beating the Sixers, Celtics, or Pacers next year. And so, sorry, I'm making a much longer conversation that we had last year. I think they have the most pressure out of any team this postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, I think within this series, I think Atlanta's going to give them two. I'm going to pick New York to win this series, but yeah, like we just talked about, the pressure's there, and I would not be surprised. Like Jake said, the moment something goes wrong, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if they fold up and the Hawks could walk out of this thing victorious. So, I'm going to give them two. I really like Atlanta's team. I do. I really do. I think they made some great trades. They got CJ McCollum, who is a seasoned veteran and a very, very experienced guy, and he's leading a whole bunch of young cats who can ball, who can really ball. You mentioned Jalen Johnson, Toussaint. He is a hooper, a hooper. They got Nikhil Alexander Walker, who he had some run as a role player in a few playoff series in Minnesota. Now he's a top option on this team, and he's been balling all year. They've got Jonathan Kuminga, the come bucket Jake.
The come bucket.
Got,
Yeah. Thank
you
you. Thank you,
know,
man.
they've got a Kongu who is a very, very, dominant force down there. They got Dyson Daniels, who's a nasty, nasty defensive player. So that's my thing. Like Atlanta, they have the players to really give the Knicks a run. And I think that they're gonna get two. And I wouldn't be surprised if that pressure starts getting to New York and Atlanta could sneak three in and maybe even four. So I think it's going to be a tough series for New York. I'm going to pick them to win, but listen, Atlanta could be knocking on that door.
Yeah.
So let's move over to the 4 versus 5, Cleveland versus Toronto. Who wins? It's an interesting series here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly haven't. This might be out of the eight series, the one I put the least thought into, honestly. It's not to like disrespect either team at all. Like, I just have not really thought about it. Am I ready to pick a Toronto team that hasn't made the postseason in a while and is young and exciting over a Cleveland team that I don't want to say they're in the same boat as the Knicks because they're not, but the pressure is there for Donovan Mitchell and the pressure is there more for James Harden, obviously. Um, yeah, am I ready to pick for them to lose for Raptors? I don't think so. And I just think the Cavaliers scoring is going to be the difference in this game. Like I do think Toronto at times, like Brandon Ingram is a pure bucket getter. We know this. I just think Cleveland's going to be too much. And I'm using a rhetorical or whatever you call it, just trying to big picture it. I just can't see a team that's making the postseason the first time beating this Cleveland team that there's pressure on them. And it's very similar. And Mitchell and Harden make the difference for me. But I do think Toronto wins one or two games, or two or three rather. Like I especially like yeah, a bold prediction, or not very bold prediction. Pretty cold prediction. I mean, is Drake gonna be there? Duh.
Well, the seats are frozen, brother.
The
Iceman.
seats are frozen.
Yeah,
Yeah, by Iceman.
hey, Drake, hey, Drizzy, drop the album. Stop playing around.
Boy.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like, is Drake gonna be there? That would be cool. I still can't get over when KD tore his Achilles and Drake's just like, no, like, oh, like, oh, shucks. Like, I'm sorry. That's one of the funniest things to me. It would be cool if Drake was there and that place is gonna be electric. Still, give me the Cavs though. Who would before you guys go, the pit as a Pistons fan, who would you rather play? It has to be Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
So
cool.
yeah, no, I
for
mean,
sure.
their depth and scoring is just too much for Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'll take the Pistons over Cleveland, but I do think that Cleveland has size, Mobley and Jared Allen, and then obviously you got. I mean, you're Donovan Mitchell's gonna drop 40. You can't prevent that. Like he's gonna get his buckets. Nobody can stop him defensively. But then I mean, listen, w- let's call the elephant in the room. James Harden. Boy, if you play us in round two, I already know what's gonna happen. I'm like gonna fold up like a lawn chair. You're gonna be shooting tour dates. 5 for 25. I'm just gonna be laughing the whole way through. Listen, that's the only thing that doesn't make me fear them. The fact that they haven't grown from once they built this team, and the fact that now that they have a guy that notably shrinks in playoff games, as Jake knows, unfortunately, he experienced
Yeah,
that.
dude.
I don't know why Cleveland did this. I know they were desperate to try and get a second guard scorer, but going and getting James Harden, who has a reputation, you could have just asked. They could have called you, Jake. You would have told them.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. I mean, my biggest grievance with James Harden wasn't even the postseason, even though he did tear his hamstring in the postseason and then come back. It was that Nets team. I'm not going to go on a tangent because no one deserves to hear me say this. That Nets team could have won it all the next year, and then he demanded a trade first because he didn't want to hang out with Kyrie Irving. Like, it's just ridiculous. And with that, I'll throw it back to you. That just I genuinely can't forgive him ever for that.
well, I hope he does the same thing to the Cavs. I'm gonna go with Cleveland. Um, Raptors are good. I mean, RJ Barrett. You got obviously Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram. Well, they better get Glorilla courtside to get Brandon Ingram activated. But that's about it. I mean, they don't really have the scoring that you would want. Um, I think they're a good team this year. Raptors overachieved, in my opinion, in terms of their seeding and how much they won. So I'm gonna give you Cleveland.
Yeah, I got Cleveland winning this game, but this game's going to seven, or this series is going to seven. I think it's going to seven. I think Cleveland's just deeper. I think Cleveland's deeper. I think they play better. The chemistry's there more. But Toronto's got some guys, like you mentioned. They've got BI, they've got Barnes, they've got Quickly, they got RJ Barrett, Canadian Mamba, the Maple Mamba. Um,
Maple Mamba.
but I think, yeah, I think Cleveland wins this one. I think James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, man, they could be a real nasty duo. They can. It's just James Harden's not the same James Harden as he was. Um, but listen, if he could, average a consistent 20, 22, 24, and he's going to get his assists, then they're going to be fine. So, yeah, I've got Cleveland in this one, but this is an interesting series here. It's going to go seven, I think, for sure. So, um,
Yeah.
Toronto absolutely can win though, absolutely. But yeah, no, I think that 1-2 punch of James Harden and Donovan Mitchell is just nasty, and um, Mitchell, man, Mitchell comes alive in the playoffs, dude. He's a force. So, yeah, I've got Cleveland in that one. Anything else we want to add before we get to Tweaker of the Week?
Not on my end. Not on my end. When's the lottery?
Lottery is
Brother, we have the playoffs. You talk about we're in the lottery.
When's the lottery?
lottery is whenever the fuck the Nets get better.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm just gonna make this really fast, and then we could get into Tweaker of the Week. And this isn't to respect Keaton Wagler or Kingston Flemings because I think they're both going to be great. If the Nets fall out of the top five for the second straight year, I'm going to fucking lose it, especially with this draft class, because those five guys all can change a franchise themselves. I really do think that. Oh God, yeah, that would be it for me.
All right, well, the Nets fan is soaking up his sorrows right now, waiting for the NBA lottery to start when the NBA playoffs officially have not started yet. So that's where Jake's mind's at. We're gonna get into tweaker of the week. He's
I'm
probably
already on 2027 mock drafts for the Jets too, Blake. So let's get going. Yeah.
he's he's honestly probably number one tweaker of the week here. Tweaker of the week, everybody's favorite segment. Who tweaked the most? Who you guys got?
I mean, besides me, like it very well might be me, bro. I'm literally all my teams suck and I'm going absolutely crazy. Um, Outside of that, I honestly was gonna say the prime broadcasters. Just because it sort of seemed like, look, I understand it's the play-in. It seems like they didn't do any research half the time, and they didn't bring in the full emotion. And by the way, as individuals, I respect their crew so much, and I love them all as personalities. It just wasn't the product I expected for their first ever postseason, and so didn't like that at all. And then I got one more, and yeah, the New York Mets. The New York Mets. Toussaint knows about the New York Mets and how they have been these past 7 days. Um, Fuck. Where do I start? You guys suck. You guys suck. That's it. I'm not gonna go on my tangent because of the last year I did that. You guys just suck. So fire everyone, start over, and then next year we'll suck again, and I'll come on episode 100 and tweak again. But you guys fucking suck. That's it.
They just suck. That's it.
That's it. Like I don't know what else I could say. I don't like. Oh, dude, Pete Alonso in one swing outscored the Mets in three of their games. Like,
Should have
yeah,
re-signed him.
bro. Like, as Carlos Mendoza, could you send him to AAA? Like, yeah, you just suck. You just suck. Like, anyway, go White Sox.
Uh, White Sox.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was like, where did that come from?
Okay.
Shout out Hector.
Unk paid me to say it.
Oh, Hector, though.
Shout
No,
out Hector and Unk. Shout out
no,
Hector and Unk.
Hector Page, you brother.
Yeah, dude.
My tweaker of the week is Pat Riley. He said again, for the thousandth million trillion time, we're looking to trade for a superstar this offseason. You must have dementia because you keep saying this every single offseason, and you keep forgetting you're Pat Riley. Nobody wants to come play for you. With all due respect, LeBron played for you, he had problems. Jimmy Butler came and played for you, he had problems. If LeBron James and Jimmy Butler, all right, are telling people I didn't want to play there anymore in Miami. Jimmy Butler's still single. LeBron played there during his prime when he wanted to have fun. It's Miami. If people are getting scared off from playing in Miami, especially if you're a bachelor playing in Miami, and the reason is because you have an old man in the front office who can't accommodate and get acquainted to the new life of basketball, he needs to go. I like Pat Riley. He's one of the greatest basketball minds. He was a coach, a player, and now a GM. But you gotta get him out of there. I don't know who owns the Heat. I don't know who the owner is, but you gotta find some way to get him out of there because no one wants to go to the Heat. I mean, I don't understand it. I would love to go play for the Heat, but if LeBron James is telling me I couldn't eat cookies on the team plane because Pat Riley didn't want it, yo, I would flip out too. I'm LeBron freaking James. Give me my cookies. If I'm Jimmy Butler and I'm trying to assert myself and you're talking this way, like Pat Riley, either do something or shut the hell up. With all due respect, do something or shut up.
Yeah, I feel it. Um, First one that I'm gonna go with is Paige Shiver. We remember who Paige Shiver is. That is the woman who had a relationship with Sharon Moore that led to his firing from the University of Michigan as their football head coach. Today, releasing a statement issued by her legal team. Before I say anything, I want to say that I absolutely 100% sympathize with her, and I, understand everything that she went through after the firing, dealing with, whatever Sharon Moore did, showing up to her house and, allegedly threatening her and, whatever the case may be. So I want to say that first of all, absolutely, nobody should be doing that. That's not how you handle a situation. Sharon Moore was in the wrong there, absolutely. Um, in the statement though, and I'll get to the second part first, but I think the biggest issue that I have with it is, she's basically in her statement, she's saying all of these names in there that need to, take responsibility for the harm that was done. Which, everybody who was in the program at that time absolutely 100% should take responsibility for, whatever took place, and Sharon Moore should take responsibility for how he acted and how he, dealt with that situation 100%. But I think though, we also I think a lot of times with these situations is we don't really get into the whole, like, she made the decision though as well to engage in this relationship with this man, knowing that he had a wife, knowing that what was at stake, knowing that her job could be at risk at some point, sleeping around with the head football coach of the program. Like, I just think that some accountability should be taken right there. But also in that statement, she says that Kyle Whittingham, the new head coach of the Michigan football team, should also take responsibility for the harm that was done. What does Kyle Whittingham have to do with
that was
what does Kyle Whittingham have to do at all with anything that went on with that Michigan football program prior to the moment that he stepped foot on campus? What? What I'm to me, that was, I read it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I think that was insane. I think that's what I have there. I mean, I understand it. I fully, like I said, I understand and I fully sympathize with her for everything that happened between her and Sharon after his firing, whatever happened in that house and whatever went on. I fully do sympathize with her because that's not how you deal with it. But I mean, there's also the one thing of also taking accountability for sleeping around with a married man and the head football coach of a program. And then now you're calling for the new head coach to take responsibility.
Yeah,
Like,
the new head coach one is crazy. Like you gotta at some point you gotta like say, let me cut my losses almost. Not in the same way of like, oh, it is what it is, but like the sentence was handed down. It might not have been what you liked, but it's not gonna get changed. Bringing it back up and having the letter itself is fine. There's no wrong, there's no problem with that. But yeah, don't go on to say the new head football coach who was in Utah when this happened. That man was coaching Utah.
literally, yeah, when it happened, he was still competing for like a bowl game and stuff. Like, yeah, that was just weird.
so that was my issue with it. But yeah, I also wanted to throw a quick one to LaMelo Ball for grabbing Bam Adebayo's ankle on the way down. That was
Yep.
insane.
And punching the Hornets mascot unintentionally, but still did
LaMelo
it.
was on one last night. LaMelo was on one last night, both on and off the court. He was on one.
Bro,
So
every single time he laces up, he tweaks out.
he was tweaking last night. Absolutely 100%.
Have you guys seen the videos of him driving?
Yeah, I've seen the videos of him
All right,
driving.
cool. Yeah, no, just pointing that one out too.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, LaMelo Ball.
When the games, hey, somebody on Twitter was like, when the game was over, people of Charlotte stayed indoors until he got home safely.
Yeah, no. Like seriously, that's a real thing. Like people are just like, like
Stay off the
Man,
roads.
no,
I don't even want to see I don't even want to see how LaMelo Ball drove out of that arena last night, dog.
dude.
I
He
don't even
probably
want
did
to
a
see how he
donut.
pulled
He
out.
probably did a donut before he got out.
I don't even want to see how he pulled out the parking lot, dog. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Oh, he probably did a donut and then just took
You hear,
off.
Jake, you hear any skid marks last night?
I did actually. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if it was him, but I did hear
Bro, you're
skid
sitting in
marks.
your apartment, you hear random skid marks. Jake's
Bro,
just
I be hearing
oh,
skid marks right now. I'm sitting on my porch. The highway's
Everybody ducking cover. LaMelo was outside.
dude. No,
LaMelo's on
like
the on the roads tonight.
yeah, Lamelo's on his way, bro. He's on his way.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, that car crash was wild. It's like he just went across the medium and just kept driving. I said,
Easy, bro.
whoa.
That shit was
Dude, and
crazy.
then I drive like that and I get a ticket. All he gets is a Lamborghini. It's
And
ridiculous. I've
then
never driven like that.
and then 5 minutes later, Brandon Miller pulls up and he just leaves the scene. He gets
Yeah.
in the car and leaves the scene. Like,
Well,
where are
Brandon
you
Miller,
going?
well,
Where are
Brandon
you
Miller,
going? Where are
Brandon
you
Miller,
going?
if you're gonna bring up Brandon Miller, he does know how to leave a scene pretty well. So like,
Yo.
All right, as out the mud, we got shot.
What about Miles Bridges?
Oh my, no, no. All
On
right,
his
the
whole
pride of
team.
Flint, Michigan,
no,
the pride
no,
of Flint, Michigan.
no, we're not doing this.
Yo,
We're
this
not doing.
whole team is
All right,
wild.
everybody,
And then you got
run up the
Khan.
socials. Everybody run up socials. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Reels, whatever it's called. We got new content up, so go like that, go repost it, share it out to everybody. As always, like, comment, subscribe on the podcast. Comment your NBA champion. Playoffs are starting, so comment who you think will be holding up the Larry O'Brien at the end of June.
And
Um,
comment who you think is going to win the NBA lottery.
Yeah. See, we got to go. Peace.
It
That's
could be
it.
the
Stay
Knicks.
fly. Stay fly,
They're
everybody.
not
Stay
giving you
fly.
nothing.
Stay fly.